lonely girls.
It's 4:05 lonely girls now. Love yous too. Bye.
Did you go pee?
Yeah, maybe. Just like it's cool to see, because when we were kids and we just had like school going for us, and now we like have careers and like the music we're putting out.
We're making moves.
Yeah, and I'm moving across the country. Or like halfway across the country.
We're making a move right now.
Yeah, I'm making a move. We're on our way to Oklahoma City. Actually, right now, we're on our way to Phoenix, Arizona. You gonna see my grams?
Yeah.
She's making us pasta.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, dude, real Italian shit. Let's go. That's good. I was like thinking earlier, I was like, should I have told Omar I was ready for a conversation? And in the time that it took to get that all ready to go, I got ready for a conversation.
Oh, cool. How did you prepare?
I was just like getting my mind space ready for socializing.
Yeah. Does this feel social to you?
Yeah, I mean,
compared to like being alone, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I mean, even when I'm alone, I'm being social with myself. Trying to check in.
Oh, really? You're social with yourself?
Yeah.
I don't think about that. Like, I think of like, there's like social and then there's like you. You know what I mean? Like alone or something.
Right.
That's interesting. I feel you.
But kind of like Eckhart says, there's like our mind and then there's you.
Right. Yeah, like I feel you, like checking into the different parts of you, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like I think
like
when you meditate and you become aware of like your thoughts as like object, you're checking in with a part of yourself that's separate from what you are inherently.
Or like something that's just not there all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Or that you don't. All right. Yeah, I feel you got to visit the different parts, so that's like socializing.
Your consciousness is not the dull roar of your mind.
Your consciousness is not the dull roar. Yeah. Have you ever noticed any dull roars?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty constant for me. Unless I'm like trying to be mindful. Unless I like, try to go into like no mind mode.
No mind.
Then I've kind of always got like a little something going on. Like
sometimes it's a roar, like a hum. Other times it's like a buzz.
Yeah.
Or like a ringing. And then sometimes it's like a melody.
Dang.
Or like crickets.
Yeah, I think it's melodious when I'm like in flow. You know what I mean? Like doing something like that's making me feel good.
Right. Well, flow is like you're being challenged, and you're also like.
But you're in like a state of like doing.
Yeah. How have video games like influenced your life?
They were like a really big deal to me when I was little. I've always been, I feel like I've told you this before, but I've always been really interesting with my approach to video games. Like, I often didn't do the campaigns when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Like, especially if I played like hallway games. You know what I mean? Like where it's not like Skyrim where you, like if you like have like a map you got to work through. It's just like side scrolling or whatever. Oh, like I often wish I could just go off the beaten path.
Right.
It wasn't important to me to see the narrative of the game all the way through. Always, like some things were.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Star Wars games were important to me that I did that. But for the most part, the thing that was important to me was like, I just thought it was so cool to be like in control of this character in this world that had like the capacity to do things I couldn't do, like magic or whatever. Yeah. What about you?
I like how doing things that you can't do. It reminds me of Sword Art Online, or like those anime where they go into video games.
Right.
And they're like their characters are different from their bodies, but then when they actually get trapped into the game, their fake bodies are awkward.
Yeah.
Or like Log Horizon. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen that one. I've only seen Sword Art.
Yeah. Video games are cool, dude. I used to be obsessed with them. I haven't played a lot recently. I've
been too busy.
I like how there's like a culture that has grown up with our generation,
right? Of
like merchandise and like just for example, like you had a Legend of Zelda backpack in high school, and then I have a Legend of Zelda hat.
Oh yeah.
And someone gifted you a sword.
Right.
Who was that?
Oh, my Uncle James gave me a sword from like the original Zelda. he made it.
What did he say?
He said, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this with you," which is like what the prompt reads when you get the sword. I think you get it out of the tree.
That's funny, dude. Was it a real sword?
It's like a wooden sword. It's in the car. I'll show you when we stop next.
Did he make it?
Yeah, he like carved it, I think.
Dang.
He drafted it or something. Okay, Legend of Zelda is a really good example of a game where I was both fascinated with that was like one of the first free roaming games I played, like Ocarina of Time.
Right.
Where you could just kind of like run around the field outside the castle and between the forests.
Yeah.
And then you could ride the horse around. You could ride Epona around.
There was a world to explore.
Yeah, and so it was like equally important for me to just kind of like jump around as Link and be in my imagination and like kind of make up my own story, like what I was doing, running around that field and hacking up like the little bone dudes. As it was for me to like know how it ended.
Right.
I also I wasn't very good at puzzles when I was a kid, like unless it was like like a jigsaw puzzle. But like my mind just didn't really work in terms of how like the temples were organized.
Oh, okay.
And
like you mean the main quest in Zelda?
Yeah, you had to go through like all the temples and collect the stones.
Yeah.
And bring it back to Hyrule. And so Ocarina of Time was written, and especially Majora's Mask. The temples in Majora's Mask were so tough, and you had like that 3-day time frame to do it.
Right. That clock, the moon.
Yeah, and then it would reset.
Video games influence the way that I perceive reality. Like I feel as if I'm the main character in a video game.
I felt the same way as a kid. I would like kind of feel like I was in the Zach Baladon show, like a TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was your show about?
Just like my day-to-day stuff. Like it was almost like a HGTV. Like if I was at kindergarten and we were doing crafts, I'd be like in my head, I'd be like, all right, like come like post up with us at the table. We're cutting out snowflakes.
Would you want to make your life a TV show?
I think it would be interesting to see how that. I mean, like I have sort of a general understanding of like how reality TV goes, where they like have to like reshoot. Like something will happen. They'll be like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Can we redo it? I want to capture that, like that kind of thing. And I don't think I would be about that. But I'd be interested in having like, I don't know, because we already have 805 Lonely Girls.
Yeah, it's kind of like an internet TV show.
Yeah.
I was thinking we can take this recording and put like a couple images to it and put it on YouTube.
I think you're right.
What should the images be?
Maybe some pictures we capture of nature on the way.
Like,
yeah, and they can
like a snail or something.
Yeah. I feel like we should talk about some things we haven't ever talked about as friends. Like, I'm interested in knowing about. I don't really know much about your childhood.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Like, what was your household dynamic like growing up?
My parents had me really young. My mom was like 18, and I think my dad was 21 or 20.
Yeah.
And let me see. So we lived at my abuela's house where we just were.
Yeah.
And that's where like I grew up. So I grew up like around my grandparents and with like family coming over. So on site with my cousins and then we moved out, like me, my brother, and my parents, my little brother.
Right.
And then they got divorced when I was 8.
Okay. What was that like? Was that really hard?
Nah, I was just like I wasn't really fazed by it, I guess, but I think it made me numb.
Okay.
So then I moved around with my mom and my brother, and that was pretty cool. And then that's when like I got into video games and stuff. What else? I did sports. I did track in middle school and in high school.
Right.
I was part of the chess club in middle school.
That's tight.
What else do you want to know?
I played chess a little bit when I was a kid. That's pretty cool. When did you know like music was going to be a thing for you? Like what was your first instrument, and like how did you like develop your interest in that?
My very first instrument was a trumpet.
Okay.
I was 10, but I didn't really play it because I had chapped lips, and the alcohol that I used to clean the trumpet like would burn me.
Okay.
So I wasn't really dedicated to it, but then I started getting piano lessons when I was around 12 or 13.
Okay.
and then that was dope. I wanted to take piano lessons for like two big reasons. One was because to make beats like hip hop, and then the other one was because I saw a Prince video for When Doves Cry, and the doctor, the keyboard player, he's like shredding a keyboard solo. I'm like, dang, dude. Yeah, that's pretty sick. So that was my inspiration to start learning music. And then I got lessons at Henson's in Camarillo from this dude named Rob Van.
That's tight.
Yeah, he was awesome. He taught my brother too.
That place is closing down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I've heard anyway. And also I see like a for lease sign outside their building.
Oh, I didn't know. That's where I learned how to play piano. And then I learned guitar when I was 13 or 14. No, I was 14. I remember watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And memorizing songs or like learning the fingering for songs before I actually had a guitar, like while I was saving up.
Right.
And then when I finally got my guitar, my fingers couldn't do what my mind wanted. It was really interesting. Like I was like, I know what I have to do, but it's just like my fingers aren't doing it.
You don't have the muscle memory yet. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's making the memories.
Yeah.
So I switched to bass for a little bit, electric bass. And then after playing a couple months of bass, I went back to the guitar and my fingers were all beefed up.
Yeah. That's funny how that works.
So
that's why after I got done playing in an Ocean Wide, I was so like thick with my guitar playing.
Thick. Yeah, stringed instruments give you girthy fingers sometimes.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get to Oklahoma and get my guitar out again.
Why?
I've just been so busy these last like couple weeks that like after I did the 507 show, after we did the 507 show, I kept my guitar out as long as I could and just kept like playing around with it every day and like trying to write a little. I have like 6 or 7 songs that are like half baked right now. Yeah, I'm really excited.
When are you planning on finished baking?
Probably like once I'll have like a couple weeks of like I'll be working in Oklahoma, but I won't be on like my everyday traveling grind.
Okay.
So I'll probably have like a lot of free time in the afternoons to work on music, like the late afternoons.
That's awesome. You're like
visualizing I unpack and stuff.
You're visualizing your lifestyle already.
Yeah, but I imagine I'll want to do a lot of exploring too.
Yeah.
But I know it'll be hot, so
exploring where?
Like in my neighborhood and like going like to the bars and the Paseo.
Are you gonna just walk around or what?
Yeah, I'm like walking distance from the Arts District. I live in the Arts District in Oklahoma City.
I got a couple of videos that I need to upload of that performance you're talking about at 507.
Oh yeah, we got to do that. Probably when we get to Arizona.
All right. I recorded our set and then I recorded your sister.
Oh, solid.
I got her song.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How did was it a pretty good set we did?
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
You got some world-class musicians on stage with you.
That's true. I felt like, because I had like blown my voice out the night before, I didn't know how good it was.
That was pretty dope. I think you seemed surprised. Like in the recording, like you turn around a couple times and you're just like jamming with us.
Yeah. That's tight. I can't wait to see that. I want to watch that. My grandma would really like to see that.
Cool.
How'd the part go in like Never Coming Home when it's like, you brought your next man to the house with just a fucking share?
It was heavy.
Yeah. Josh like really killed it on that minimal drum set.
Good job, Josh.
Yeah.
That's what he does, dog. I think I feel his spirit dance in his drumming.
Yeah, me too. He's like, Josh is such a cool person.
Yeah.
I have his shoes.
Why do you have his shoes?
It's a long story, but after that show at the 507, we all got various levels of naked at my house after drinking.
And you left his shoes?
Yeah, so
you just leave with no shoes?
Yeah, I think so. We went to bed at like 3, and he had to go to church at like 5. Nina woke him up at like, I tried to stay awake all night so I could wake them up.
Okay.
And I felt...
Why'd you want to stay awake? Why didn't you just wake up before them?
Because when I went to, like, I knew if I fell asleep, I was going to sleep in and, like, not be able to wake him up.
You knew it already?
Yeah. Well, because that's how my body works. When I sleep, if I go to bed late, well, and it's funny, actually, because after drinking, I wake up at like 7 o'clock no matter what. But they needed to be out the door by like 6:15.
Okay.
And I guess Nina was able to get Josh up and going.
That's what Nina does.
Huh?
Good job, Nina.
Yeah. They had to bring the drum set back to Santa Paula. And he went and drummed for church that morning.
Heck yeah, dude.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, those are the kind of musicians you have around you.
Yeah. Josh is a goon.
You and Josh both have tattooed me.
That's true. How's that tattoo I gave you holding up?
It's still there.
That's tight. Bayside has a cover of this song. Call me, alright, you can call me anytime. Yeah. I miss Clifford. He tried to call me and I couldn't answer because I was busy and I feel bad.
Maybe he'll hear this and shed a tear for you.
I hope so. Dude, we were bawling at Outlaws. We were drunk and just crying. It was bad.
Why? Because you were leaving?
Yeah. It like hit us both at the same time and I had to go to the bathroom and cry.
Oh.
When you wake up these days, what's the first thing you do?
The first thing I do is thank God for waking me up.
That's tight.
And then I read a book I got from our family friend Jessica. Shouts out Jessica. It's like a daily devotional.
Oh, tight.
So it gets you in the right mind state. Like I like to just go back to my foundations of life when I start the day. So it like helps me get in that mindset, that spiritual mindset.
Yeah.
And then after that, either I like get up and go pee and brush my teeth, or
I left my toothbrush in Camarillo.
that sounds like an emo song.
I left my toothbrush in Camarillo. I'm really good at writing melodies.
Is that what you spend most of your time doing?
Yeah, well, they come to me.
Wait, are you singing melodies all the time?
Yeah, like I'll just be like driving and I'll have like it's almost like they just manifest. Like
You're a melody breeding ground.
yeah, when I wrote Desktop Dreamers chorus, it was like a country song. And I remember I was driving on Santa Rosa Road and it was after I moved back into my parents' house briefly before I went to the creek. And I was thinking about how like it was really nice to be home and like with my family. And I had felt like I'd been living in like a daze forever, and just like thinking about that just kind of like made me sing like I'm at home, I'm at home. And then I just went like da, 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 da. Yeah. And then I found a video the other day of me like working, because I wrote it in my head, and then usually what I do is I record a voice memo. Like I'm just like, hey Siri, record a voice memo real quick. And so she does.
Good job, Siri.
And when she does, I just like I try to drop like as like good of a take as I can. I'll sing it like 3 or 4 times, and then I'll bring it back home and I'll get my guitar and I'll like just kind of find notes that go along with what I sang, and then I'll just do like a chord progression and sing to it, and then like work it out and see if I can make it better.
At what point do you use recording in your writing process?
Yes.
Into your computer?
So like, yeah, a really good example of that is the way Desktop Dreamer got fleshed out, and Do What You Do, the song. Like those were actually really good examples of like where I just decided to like write a song as I went. And so I just started like, I started Do What You Do with like MIDI stuff and the beat. And then I put like chords over it, like acoustic guitar. And then I just started writing verses, and that was fun. Yeah, that song was a really good exercise for me, and I'm really proud of the version that I did in my bedroom. I had it mastered and I released it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So at that instant, you had the melody and the words at the same time.
For Do What You Do? I wrote it as like, what's that?
Yeah.
That's Desktop Dreamer. I'm at home, for the first time since last spring. So with that song, I wrote that chorus as I was driving, and then I brought it home and I had that chorus, and then separately I started writing the dun 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 dun. So I had that already cooking up, and I was like writing that like that verse, and then I realized that the chorus fit with that song. So I threw that. It was really cool because it was like a Frankenstein of two things I was working on separately, and it came out really cool.
I remind myself that every time I create, like just for example, let's say I'll rhyme on my notepad. Like, I do that every day. Everything on there may not be like incredible, but maybe one line from there is gold. And then if I do that every day, eventually I'll have all these golden lines that I can draw from and create one piece.
Yeah.
That's cool that you worked out those separate parts and then they came together.
Yeah, do you often do that where you like things will come together that weren't like...
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. That's a staple of my creation.
Do you write every day?
Yeah.
Like rap? Like hip hop?
No. But I do write every day, whether it's journaling,
Yeah.
or writing, like taking notes from some educational YouTube video or podcast,
Oh, that's cool.
or practicing rhyming in hip hop.
I oftentimes feel like I'm taking in podcasts and like educational stuff in passing. Like I try to put it on when I'm driving or like while I'm working.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, dude.
Yeah.
It's
But I like your approach, which is to be an active participant. It's like it's almost like you take yourself to class every day.
yeah. So I forgot who somebody said that you can use your commute to basically get a degree, to get an education.
That's true. Yeah, I'd be listening to a lot of like Jocko and Joe Rogan.
Cool. Yeah, I have like podcasts and audio playing when I'm like driving and stuff too. But usually how it works is I'll be doing whatever task that is, like I don't know, like working on the yard,
Right.
and then I'll hear something in the podcast that resonates with me, and then I'll go write that down in my notepad, and then whatever ideas come from there. Or while I'm working on the yard, I'll get like I'll make a rhyme in my head, or I'll hear a rhyme in my head, and I'll go and write that down.
Oh, that's cool.
But I like to go back to the spot where I got the idea. Like I'll go grab my notepad and go back to the.
Oh, I like that.
I think it helps capture the original magic.
That happens to me a lot with like when I'm like I said, like when I'm flowing in something. That's often when I get like my most creative inspiration.
When you're in flow.
Yeah, like if I'm really like flowing at work, I'll be like focusing on like what I'm doing at work, like maybe campus planning one of my schools, and all of a sudden something just comes in my head. It's like it just comes when I'm not focusing on it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when I like sit down to like work on music, it doesn't feel right. Even if it's like what I wanted to do, then I have to step away from it. But I'm trying to get myself in a headspace of like, I need to practice every day. Like I need to play my guitar every day.
Yeah. When you do it, when you don't feel like it, then that's building something different.
Yeah.
That's its own practice.
Yeah.
It's like a discipline at that point, not a feeling.
Right, willpower.
Yeah.
I feel like I was my best guitar playing self when I was like 16.
What do you mean? Like
when we were in like daily drive, I was a better guitar player then than I am now. Which I think is funny. Well, in like different ways. Like I think I played electric stuff better. Like maybe I'm wrong. Jackson had us practicing every day.
Thanks, Jackson.
I would get so annoyed.
What else do you practice every day?
Sleeping,
Cool.
which actually like I need to get better at.
Right.
Like, I often sacrifice my sleep to like stay up with FOMO.
So do you want to get more sleep?
Yeah, I want
Or better
to
quality?
both.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to learn to shut my electronics down a little bit
yeah.
before I'm ready for bed. Start practicing like reading a little bit more before bed.
What's really influenced me or impacted me is keeping the lights dim before, like when the sun goes down, I keep as many lights off
Yeah.
as possible or as little light as possible.
Oh, I like that.
And then I also cover my eyes when I sleep. Like I put a t-shirt or something over my
Really?
Yeah.
I have like a mask. I might do that. I got this mask the first day I went to yoga at Sunkist.
Do you get dreams?
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get dreams. I don't always remember them.
You want to remember them?
Yeah. I used to keep a dream journal,
Whoa.
and they started getting like crazy.
Why did you keep a dream journal?
Why?
Yeah.
I wanted a lucid dream.
You went in with the intention of lucid dreaming? Did
Yeah.
you lucid dream?
No,
How long did you journal for?
just like a few weeks probably, and I wouldn't always remember. But and also I would like wake up and I'd be like, I know I was dreaming, but I don't know what I was dreaming about. But I feel like even writing that down was probably good.
Do you think dreams are some kind of message?
I don't know. I feel like they're manifestations of chemicals released by our pineal gland.
Yeah.
What do you think? I do. I mean, I think yeah. I mean, they might be messages to ourselves.
Right.
I think our unconscious mind does something to like tell us like what our real feelings are.
Yeah.
I think sleep is a meditation.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And so I think when we're dreaming, it's because we've turned off that hump and allowed ourselves to go unconscious.
I think that I like the way you describe that. I think the dreams help you understand the hump.
Whoa, yeah, I could get down with that. The hum isn't real.
It's just an illusion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the hum is real in that it's a thing that happens, but the stuff that we make into concerns, the things that we let bother us, like socially or like internally or like things we beat ourselves up over, that's a result of us losing control over the hum.
You ever think the hum could bring good things?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that have no control over their hum, that get into like really dark emotional places and create really beautiful things.
Yeah.
Like Elliott Smith.
Elliott Smith. What did he do?
He was a musician in like the 80s and 90s. And he ultimately ended up taking his own life. There's some debate about whether he was murdered or not. But if he did take his own life, like the hum must have been intense.
Yeah. I think you can hum harmful things and you can hum nutritious things.
Interesting. I like the use of nutritious.
Yeah, our mind and our inner space, it's like a fertile field. If you don't take care of it, then weeds are going to grow. Or whatever you choose to cultivate, that's what's going to prosper.
It's true.
Or neglect. Whatever
Yeah.
you choose to neglect, that'll probably prosper too.
Have you done the Headspace app before?
Yeah, I did the trial.
Yeah, I did too, and I feel like what you're saying kind of lines up. I like the color of that car. It's like a
Aqua turquoise.
Yeah, it's like a turquoise, aquamarine. The guy from that app asks you to think of your thoughts as cars passing by that you can just watch as they flow by. And I think it's cool to also imagine them as weeds that you can pull out.
Definitely. That's what
And like the car euphemism is also interesting because cars can have big, devastating accidents.
Right.
And then you can have like months-long insurance battles in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just in your mind.
it all is. But that doesn't mean it isn't real. That was, you know that part in Harry Potter?
No.
Spoiler alert ahead. When Harry goes to face Voldemort in the Forbidden Forest in the last movie, and Voldemort kills him, but what he really does is kill the Horcrux in Harry. Harry wakes up in like this blinding white space, and Dumbledore's sitting there, and they're at like a train station, and it's kind of like a metaphor for like the platform you can get on to take the train to heaven or whatever, or like the afterlife. And he's talking to Dumbledore, and Dumbledore's like, yeah, I bet if you wanted to, you could get on this train and go onward. And Harry isn't ready or anything. You know, he's like, he's got to go back and fight. But they're sitting there, and, you know, he's talking to Dumbledore, and he's like, wait, is this all happening in my head? And Dumbledore goes, of course it's all happening in your head, but why should that mean it's not real?
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. Because if you think about, that makes me think of the Four Agreements. Like everybody's perception of reality,
Yeah.
or outward demeanor is a reflection of their perception of reality. And so there are tons of different realities, and they all exist within the context of like how we've grown up and what we've learned.
Right. Like
And-
we can both go through an experience, and we have a different perception of it just because we're two individuals.
Yeah, a really basic level of that is like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Where you could be like, honestly, that was really bad. Like the camera angles like really bothered me, and I could be like, dude, I thought that was so cinematically imaginative.
Right.
Yeah.
They're both, those two opinions were inspired by one creation, like
Yeah.
this one work of art that was seemingly like the same, but we both interpreted it differently.
Right.
The analogy I like that Don Miguel Ruiz uses in the Fifth Agreement is we all have a movie theater in our head,
Yeah.
and like I'm experiencing my movie, like the movie of Omar, and then you're experiencing the Zach show or whatever. What is
Yeah.
it? So
The Zach Valentine show.
yeah, the Zach Valentine show. So let's just use your Uncle Ben for an example. The Uncle Ben in the Zach Valentine show is inspired by that dude, right? Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
But he's a different character
In your story.
in my movie. Yeah. Even though it's the same person, we both have a different
Yeah.
character. And then if I
Yeah,
go into
he's got a lot more depth in my story.
right. And then if I go into your movie, if I go into your TV show, like from the audience perspective,
Yeah.
even how I see you is going to be different than how I see you in my movie.
Right.
Because I'm going to be seeing you from your perspective. It's like, hey, that doesn't really look like Zach.
Whoa.
But it's from the same Zach.
That's a trip. It's a really thick metaphor.
Yeah. We all have we're all the movies, the theater, and the watcher.
And yeah.
Hey, what are those three things that you're not supposed to talk about when you meet somebody?
Religion, politics, and
What's that third one, dude? I keep forgetting. Religion,
relationships, maybe, like love.
politics?
I don't know. I feel like I break all those rules when I meet people. I like to keep company with people who, like I'll like bring something like that up when I first meet somebody, and they like crack a joke about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh dang, we're gonna get along good.
Let us know in the comments what that third thing we're not supposed to talk about is,
Yeah, please.
and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. By the way, for context, Omar and I are on our way to Phoenix, Arizona right now.
Oh yeah.
We're in a 15-foot U-Haul, towing my car, my Jetta behind us, doing about 55 on the 210. We're in Pasadena, and we're on our way to Arizona.
Yeah. It's probably about 11. I don't know what time it is.
I don't either.
It's all good. We don't need time.
Yeah. It's a construct anyway. It is a day.
Oh, dude, let's talk about time.
Oh, okay. I'm not super well versed in this, but
It's all good.
I'm interested in knowing your thoughts because I feel like you've probably read a lot about it.
Yeah. I'm sure you've experienced different elements of time also. Like, so, I mean, we all think and live in this world where the day is broken up into 24 segments, 24 hours. But even though we all supposedly have those same 24 hours, we all experience them differently. And there's like elements that come and go. Like, for example, if you're at work and like you don't want to be there, then the clock ticking will just seem like it's taking forever. Or where if you're in another moment and like your adrenaline's pumping, then like time sometimes stands still or sometimes it goes fast. But we are educated to think that all the seconds are the same.
Yeah.
So,
but it varies on our perception of it.
Right, it's relative.
It's how much you lived in that second.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Have you ever had a moment where time stood still?
I'm trying to think. I think so. I can't really pull one off my head. I know, like, a lot of time at Merlin's, like, felt like it wasn't moving at all. I would get so bored.
Have you ever had it stood still, like, out of awe?
Yeah, do you remember when we were at the botanical gardens?
Yeah.
And, like, just kind of looked out, like, out the vista?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. That whole day was really incredible for me. That day was exactly what I needed that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you need?
I needed, I had a lot going on. I'd broken up with my girlfriend the day before, and I had this move impending. And so I needed a day to, like, really appreciate some beautiful things about this place I've lived for the last 10 years. And I needed to be with friends. And what I didn't know was I needed to see people I hadn't seen in a while.
Oh.
And that was really cool to see Andrew Medina.
Yeah. Shouts out Andrew.
Yeah, dude, your baby's adorable.
Yeah. That was a cool gift we got her.
Yeah, it was a Thankful book.
Yeah, like finding that book is a...
Oh, that was a really good thing too.
Yeah, that's a cherished memory now. We went to... What's that bookstore called? The Bookworm?
Mrs. Figs.
Mrs. Figs.
Bookworm. Yeah, it's the Bookworm, but it's Mrs. Figs Bookworm.
Mrs. Figs Bookworm in Camarillo. And we went there because my best friend growing up, Andrew, his baby having her second birthday.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's get her something good. And we're going through the bookstore, and then we find this book that it was like, it's a Thankful on the cover. And it was awesome. And then we wrapped it up. The lady wrapped it up for us. And
Connie Halpern. Shout out Connie.
Shout out Connie. Go check it out, you guys. Go read a book.
Yeah, books are good.
Another interesting experience with time. I don't know if you've felt this, but you could spend like, it'll seem like a whole day's worth of adventures in a dream, but then like you take a nap or something, but then you wake up, it's only been half an hour.
Right. Oh yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, my dreams don't really feel. I haven't really had a dream that spans like a whole day. I've had a dream that, like, they're more like movie scenes. Like,
Yeah.
I used to have dreams that I was being chased, like, by like a guy with like a gun, and so I was like there was music in it too. Like I remember like being on the run and like hearing like bullets like clinking around me,
Dang.
and it was all like da 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 da. You know, I'm like running in like an action movie from the bad guy.
Zach Valadon show.
Yeah. It's my life, y'all. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Zach Valadon show. Oh, I forgot. I was going to ask Jean-Luc to rap the fast part from Rap God for you.
Dang it, dude.
I know. He's so good at it. Some of them... And then it goes, you know.
How long have we been talking? We've been talking 48 minutes and 13
Really?
seconds. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is that how long it feels?
No. Oh, I had a really interesting thing with time.
What?
I meditated with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar.
What happened?
I was at the Art of Living Center in Los Angeles, near USC. and Sri was in town from India. He led a meditation seminar, and he just kind of talked about meditation, and then we closed it out with a meditation and then Q&A.
Cool.
And this was a trip, dude. We meditated for a while, and he was just kind of like doing a guided one, and he's regarded as like a guru for a lot of people. Like he's considered like a very holy man, and he's like practically breatharian apparently. Do you know what that is?
I'm not sure.
It's like where people like consume like minimal amounts of food and like basically like exist off of their breathing is what they call it. And, like,
yeah.
Apparently he eats like a handful of nuts every day, and like has like a bit of water. But he thrives off of like
Is he thick?
his communion with God. No, he's pretty. I mean, he's not like emaciated, but he's pretty thin. He doesn't look like Yogananda.
Right, Yogananda's thick.
Yeah, his spirit was thick.
Yeah. So what was up with the?
So I'm meditating, and like we go through the whole meditation, and like as he's bringing us, like I just really like fell into it, and then as he's bringing us out of it, I had like this visualization. You know, like when you look at a light and you close your eyes and you got like that purple haze or like that blue haze.
The afterglow?
Yeah, that afterglow. Yeah. It like looked like a guy like chopping a sword down like between my vision.
Whoa.
And then like I opened my eyes as he was telling us to like slowly open your eyes, and like right as that happened. And then he was like, so we've set a timer and we've just been meditating for 27 minutes. And it felt like maybe 2 minutes had gone by. Yeah, it was a trip.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool, dude.
Why do you think time went by like that?
I think meditating with a really spiritually powerful person like put me in a sort of a timeless zone. It was neat.
Hey, did we pack those pancakes?
I think. Yeah, I think they're in one of these bags here.
Oh, dope, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting hungry too. I think there's like some bakes and some sausages.
Cool.
Yeah, that experience with Sri was really cool. Have you had anything like that before? Can you tell me about like times that reflect sort of the questions you've been asking me too?
I don't know. I've experienced like time passing by really slow at places that I didn't want to be at, and like you could
Yeah.
I was stare at the clock and like the seconds couldn't pass by quick enough.
Right.
Other times maybe I'm rushing to get something done, and it seems like time's going by really fast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, if I have an experience like that where like time is going slow, I stay thankful
Wait.
because I get more perceived time on Earth.
Yeah, what you said about like you could watch the cars in your mind pass by, or get into like insurance troubles and be caught up in your mind for 2 months or whatever.
Right.
There's like this time out here in this realm, and then there's psychological time. So even though
Which is our perception of the time passing.
Yeah. So you could spend one reason why I may feel like time's passing by really fast is because psychologically I've already experienced certain moments over and over again. So it's like, even though I haven't, I've like replayed a certain like what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to get done so much that I mentally have spent a lot more energy than was actually required, or I have spent a lot of like mental time.
Right.
One time where I feel like time was thick. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
I was eating a lunch with my family one time. We're all outside, and I'm playing guitar, and I'm just looking around, and it's like I'm taking it all in. It's pretty awesome.
I love that. Yeah, that's how I felt when we were at the botanical gardens recently. And we meditated over that water.
Yeah, that was cool. Hey, can we pull over to P soon?
Yeah,